Hey guys, welcome to my new video. I'm finally finished with this part of the series, and I work every day a little bit to make it faster. I want to thank you all for them 269 subscribers. When I started I was not even imagining on having half of it lol. So let's go to the video. For the rest of the night, Yamaguchi couldn't focus on anything than on Oikawa's jacket. He texted him back some minutes after his little breakdown, and just quanting that he was gonna show up in the practice in the next day. Makes him nervous. What his teammates will think when he comes to pick up his jacket. The questions he will need to answer. Why is he with it? What's his relationship with Oikawa? They will think he was spying like Kageyama or the setter was just paranoid. All this questions stayed on his mid until he finally sleeps, but all of them come up again when he was read to school, waiting for Tsukishima in front of his house, and trying to forget it, he started a talk with him. Tsuki, you decide if you really like Kuru-san. He frowned his eyebrows. I mean, when you rejected me, you said you liked him but you said that it was complicated too. So I assumed that you still confused, because you two are not close at all. Right. You know me so much that makes me scared sometimes. You're not really hard to understand, you just don't let people try to. And how you can do it every time. After all these years I developed this superpower, anti-Tsuki barriers. So you can't hide anything from me. He said, smiling very proud about it, making Tsuki rolls his eyes. So, you like him or just think he's pretty? I never told you that. So you think he's hot? I means his thighs are really shut up, Yamaguchi. He yelled with his face bluesing so hard that makes Yamaguchi a little surprised. It's not common to see Tsuki that embarrassed, but at least it answers some of his questions. Tadashi still smiled for him, even if people on the street look at them weird. Sorry, Tsuki. And them, they walk to school talking about the random things. In the lunch, Tadashi lunch with Yachi and Hinata, because Tsukishima are going to take a nap. And finally, he could tells his worries to his friends. Grand King is coming here. Shish. Stop yelling. You don't need to tell all the school. But, it's the Grand King. Yeah, I know. We need just 2 fangirls of him, not 1,000. I'm not a fangirl. If you say, who is the Grand King? Oh, yeah, you didn't meet him yet. He's the captain and setter of Seiju, Oikawa Toru. Wah, I heard of him. The girls really like him, I don't know exactly why. He's pretty. How much? Kyoko-san levels. What? Someone can be that pretty? He's not just pretty. He's gorgeous. And hot as fuck. Yamaguchi blushed a bit, focusing on his food. Yachi and Hinata smiled, think it's funny. But why Grand King? I call him Grand King because he is Kageyama's senpai and he learns how go serve and receive watching him. So his like. The master of the king of the court. The Grand King. Wow. I didn't know that Kageyama have someone like that. But they don't like each other. They are really rivals, and they fight since middle school yeah. They hate each other. Yamaguchi frowned his eyebrows. No. What? It's not hate. Oikawa-san don't hate Kageyama, they just don't like each other and are rivals. They want to outdo each other and that's it. How did you know? Whom? He broke out in a cold sweat. Tadashi was nervous. He forgot to tell his friends how he was getting close to Oikawa for weeks to the point of considering themselves friends. Actually, why he's coming here if we don't have a match? He got more nervous, damn it. He knew very well what his friends would say when he did. His face turned redder, remembering what happened the night before. Tadashi explained the past few weeks and how the two of them had come together, and ended up with his face so red that Yachi was desperate to think he would melt at any moment. So you two are going on a date, but Oikawa-san said that it's a group hangout so you wouldn't get embarrassed. What? No. It's not an undercover date. Are you sure? Of course I'm. And that's not the point. Oikawa-san is coming here. And the problem is, the team, don't worry about them. If Tanaka-san or Noya-san sees him they'll only tease and I'm sure Daichi-san will control them. I'm sure they wouldn't mind. And you don't need to talk to Oikawa-san in front of them. You can wait for him on the gates. You right, but Tsuki. Yamaguchi, you're freaking out just because Oikawa-san is coming to get his jacket back. Do you really think you should worry about Tsuki and not about how your feelings have, obviously, changed? Tadashi blinked, confused. What? You didn't notice. Notice what? Yachi take a deep breath and gets his hands, looking at him, determined. Yamaguchi-kun, are you stupid? He needed to blink twice, completely choked with the sudden offense. Excuse me. For God's sake, yams. Think about it, use our brain. He and Yachi were startled by Hinata's sudden outburst. There's no reason to you been nervous about Grand King coming here. There's a bunch of things you can do to not make anyone picks a fight with him. You can secretly mate him, you could wait for him on the gates or asks him for a message when he arrives. But you are here freaking out with the idea to mate him. Because of what? A kiss on the cheek. He's not your friend. Yachi kiss our cheeks every day. It's true, and you never turn like this. But, yesterday, when we're leaving, Kageyama appeared to ask Oikawa-san some advice about your situation and… well, he said that I was a spy or some shit. Fuck Kageyama, he's a idiot. Yeah, I can punch him if you want. No, you don't need to. Please don't fight again. Okay, okay. But you really need to think about it. But why? Because the bright on your eyes when looking or talking about Tsukishima is fading away. Bright. Yeah, the bright of love. Unfortunately, the lunch break ends, and Yamaguchi have a lot of things to think about for the last periods of the day. Been unable to pay attention on his classes, he started thinking about last day. His mind was full of things. Everything about the last day was making him feel embarrassed, the way Oikawa protected him from any bad comments from Kageyama, the way he could, how his jacket smelled so good, an extremely nice cologne that make he tempted to bury his face in the fabric and sniff it until he fall asleep. And the kiss on her cheek was the culmination. It was something brief, gentle and affectionate, no biggie. Just a little touch on his face. But the softness of Oikawa's lips made him have other thoughts, of how his lips must be sweet and good to bite. He thought about kissing Oikawa, taking his time to enjoy it. And that left him boiling with shame. Yamaguchi. He flinched, looking to Tsuki surprised. You're really spacing out. Oh, I'm sorry. It's okay. Let's go. Why yes. They two go to the club room, the third and two road years are already there. Where's Hinata? He's already training with Kageyama. I don't know. Tadashi signs, taking his way to change his clothes. He takes everything he would need of his bag and put on a chair. It includes the Seijo's jacket, which was highlighted over Karasuno's black. It didn't take 2 minutes for someone to notice. What is this? What? Tsukishima bent down and pulled the white and turquoise fabric, showing it to him. Why do you have a Seijo's jacket with you? The room gets silent. He what? Aye. Well, who did you get one of this? You rob it. You changing school. Noya calm down. But Asahi-san, please, Daichi will be mad. Yuta Tanaka, I'm sure Yamaguchi has his reasons. But Shuga-san, it's a Seijo's jacket. I know, I'm curious too. But Yamaguchi don't want to talk, right? Tadashi stuttering, nervous and not knowing how to respond. By the time Yachi opened the door with force, she was panting, flushed and stammering as much as Tadashi. He's here. Grand King is here, yams. Who is here? Why is he here? He wanna fight. Guys, calm down. Where exactly? Then, Oikawa appeared besides Yachi, smiling and waving with his hand.
Yahoo!
Mr. Freckles. Hi Oikawa-san. I will just put my shirt on, okay. I have a little bit of time, don't worry. He smiled, looking at the others, who are being themselves. Tanaka and Noya are basically barking at this point. Wow, you all are so energetic with me coming here. I didn't know that I have so much fans on Karasuno. You son of a. Take him away, Enishida. Fine. Enishida take Tanaka and Noya to the gym. Oikawa stuck out his tongue like a brat would. Oikawa-san, don't pick fights. Sorry, Yama-chan. Yama-chan, really, you like Mr. Freckles more. Tadashi rolled his eyes, finishing packing his things back. What are you doing here, Oikawa? Is there a problem to me coming to see my boyfriend? Tadashi face blush, and he throws up a shoes on Oikawa face, it hit the wall next to him. All of them was shocked and confused. Stop saying stupid things. Scary. He trembles, Sugawara gets closer. But really, what are you doing here? Yama-chan run away with my jacket yesterday, and I have a match today, so I needed it. A match. And you have time to lose here. You don't need to worry about. He throws the jacket on him. You stupid bitch. You're the captain. If you said it was a match I could run to Seijo's on lunchtime or Tadashi. Toru yelled before any of them thinking on calming Yamaguchi, before Tsukishima grab his shoulder and tell him to pull himself together. Toru walked over and put a hand on his shoulder, smiling. Calm down, okay. We will play with colleges today, they will still take about 20 minutes, I have time to run back to school. Really? Yeah, don't worry. Since when you're friends? It was him that you meet yesterday. Oikawa whisper for him. You didn't tell him. I forget. I'm hearing, you know. Tadashi sings, biting his lip. It was like 1 month ago. After that thing. Tsukishima shake his head, knowing what he was talking about. I don't like him. I don't like you either and didn't say anything. Who you can be with this guy? His shit, yams, and you're an asshole, don't get your point. Stop fighting you two. You're acting like children. He mumbles, getting angry. Daichi-san, I will take him to the gates and run to practice, okay, but don't take too much. I won't. Come, Oikawa-san. Tadashi grabs his wrist and start walking, they don't talk until walking downstairs. I don't make troubles to you, right? Of course not. I can handle Tanaka-san and Noya-san question when they calm down. And Daichi-san will make them stop bothering me if the things go wild. That's good. I act without thinking about you. Sorry. Don't worry, I'm gonna be okay. Oikawa puts his jacket on, closing the zipper and smiling more than before. Tadashi looked at him, curious. What? Your smile gets bigger. Why? Your perfume is on my jacket. What? Maybe I sprayed some of it by accident this morning. Sorry. That's not a problem. Actually, Oikawa-san, what was that story of me being your boyfriend? Toru checks blush, he out a hand on his face. Well, I said that without thinking. I'm sorry. I was just making fun of them. Don't do that again, make me embarrassed. Sorry. They arrived the school gates. You talk with Chibi-chan. Keep. Him will come with us. Bu Yachi want to come too, it's that a problem? Course no, she can come with us. Maki will love it, he will think she's cute. Hanamaki-san. He likes cute girls. Oikawa was getting a lot of attention of the other students, Yamaguchi didn't get it first, but when a group of girls stops a little closer from them, he got annoyed. Why they can't just shut up about him? And you, what's your type? I'm sure that someone so pretty as you has a really higher type. Please, say something completely different from that girl's. I don't have one, but... He gets more closer, putting an arm around her shoulder and neck, keeping their faces close together. I really like boys with pretty eyes and cute freckles. Oikawa wasn't dumb, he knew those girls were talking about him, and Tadashi was annoyed and tried to tease them. He made sure to speak loud enough for them to hear. But he was getting embarrassed, because that words aren't a lie. They're real. He blushed, take a deep breath and kissed the corner of Tadashi's lips softly, briefly and sweet. Tadashi mind explode in shocked and confusion, he could think straight. He doesn't feel uncomfortable, just not knowing what to do. Oikawa Toru kissed his lips. After it, Oikawa smiled awkwardly. Bye, Tadashi. Bye, Oikawa-san. Oikawa left and Tadashi stood there for a few seconds, his head snapping back into place. Then his face burned red from his neck to his ears and he ran to the gym. Coming in like a hurricane and slamming the door. Everyone still in the warm-up, they look at him worried. Tadashi covered his red face with his hands and grunted in shame and frustration. Yamaguchi, are you okay? Something happened. That asshole did something to you. Tadashi ignores them, looking around and running to his friends. Hinata, Yachi, Oikawa-san, He, wait, you need to breathe. What he did? He kissed me. Here, he pointed to the left corner of his lips, stammering in confusion. At this point, everyone was close to them hearing what he was saying. He what? And I think he said he likes me. I indirectly. But he said, what? Oikawa-san did what? I though he liked Iwaizumi-san. Me too. He liked, until 2 years ago when he got rejected and why are you all listen to the conversation of others? You looked so astonished, we're worried. Yeah, you two are coming with me this weekend. I'm not staying alone with the Seijo's third. I told you that it was an undercover date. Shut up. Tsukishima was feeling weird, he knew Tadashi and he knew he wasn't the type to get over a feeling so quickly and that's why he only liked 2 people in his life, a girl when he was 7 and himself. Then he wondered what kind of spell Oikawa Toru had cast on his friend to make him so agitated just about it, but at the same time, he was glad Yamaguchi was moving on without even noticing, as he wouldn't be able to reciprocate his feelings. In the weekend they decided to meet in the bus stop. Yachi was the first who arrived because she lived more close. Yamaguchi waited for Hinata, so they're the last ones to arrive but a little more earlier than Oikawa. Guys. Grand King, Hiii. Hi Chibi-chan. Yachi-chan. Mr. Freckles he smirks to Tadashi, making him blush and turn her face away, crossing her arms and muttering. Don't call me that like this. You're late, Lazakawa. So sorry. Takaru hid my earrings. Again. You know he likes to mess with my things. Because you're a pain in the ass. Yeah, he's throwing a tantrum because I'm broke this month and can't buy him a game. It's not my fault. Isn't it your fault you don't have financial organization? Have no control to not spend all your money? At that moment, Oikawa's face closed up. I have a family to care for, you forget. Someone has to pay the bills when their parents are motherfuckers and don't send money. The Karasuno 1RT years are quietly waiting them stop bickering each other, and they feel really embarrassed with the way the talk was going. Toru, I'm sorry. Shoo, I want to have fun. He turned around to talk with Yamaguchi. Sorry for it. It's okay. They both smiled, for the others was like their lovebirds in the buble of love. Oh, that's right. I don't properly introduce myself to you yet, Yachi-chan. I'm Oikawa Toru. My friends don't scared you, right? Oh, no. Maki-san, it's not scary at all. Fortunately he was FHE first before me too arrived. Are you saying we're scary? He points to him and Iwaizumi. Yachi gets more nervous. And no, I just. Our bus. With Hinata exploding in his energetic way again, he saves Yachi and Yamaguchi laughs. They go to the end of the bus and talk together, making jokes and exposing things from their friends. The mainly victim was Toru, because he have the most embarrassed histories. After getting comfortable with Toru's friends, Yachi got along really well with Maki and Matsun, mainly because the three of them liked Mahu Shouju, and Yachi was a big fan of Sailor Moon. Hinata ended up in a talk about volleyball and being the ace of the team with Iwaizumi, who responded with a smile on his face when he learned how awesome Hinata thought he was. Chibi-chan. Yes. Tobio-chan changes his perspective about your quick attack this week. Yeah, he completely changed his sets for me. Really, I couldn't see the difference. Neither I could. You are not used to receiving his sets, right? They nodded their heads. That explains everything. I don't get it. Chibi-chan here is the one who more received Kageyama's sets, right? He knows more how Kageyama do it. You do it how much every day? Normally I lose the count on 4T. See Iwa-chan. 4T is not too much. Of course is, Shirikawa. I don't have the same energy as Hinata. Nobody has the same level of energy that this too. I almost fell asleep standing up throwing balls for them. They laughed. Fortunately there's just them on the bus. Anyway, Iwaizumi is more used to Oikawa setters than us. So he's always the first ones to notice is when his setters is different, even if just a little. You two didn't notice, because you're not used to them. If you not used to hit it, you wouldn't notice. Makes sense. And the setter he gives to Chibi-chan are specific and totally different from what he gives to others. It's like the setters I give them, if this note really different than the usual, they don't notice, because they don't train with me than Iwa-chan. It didn't take long for them to arrive in Sendai. It was funny to see Oikawa grimacing as they passed near Shiradarazawa. At the mall, they decided the movie with rock paper scissors, which resulted in an action film, chosen by Matsun and Hinata. Oikawa wanted the science fiction one with aliens and Yamaguchi ended the job of animating it. First they went after popcorn, candy and soda. Then they got in line as the movie would start in a few minutes. Unfortunately there weren't 7 seats next to each other, so Oikawa and Yamaguchi were in the row behind the others, and this wasn't a plot by the group to make them more next, of course not. It was Maki's idea. Toru would buy an ice cream for the 5 of them later. He took advantage of that opportunity, holding Tadashi's hand, and when he complained of cold, he used the coat he wore as a blanket over them, having an excuse to stay close to him. Tadashi didn't find it bothered at all, and luckily the room was dark and he didn't see his blushed face. When the movie ended, Hinata jumped up and down excitedly and talked loudly about how amazing the effects and story were with her, boom, and wash, common. Afterwards they ate ice cream on the way to the arcade, the 4 from Seiju already competing over the games and betting on snacks. Iwaizumi won the game Who Shows the Strongest with a punch. No one was surprised. Yachi beat everyone else in table hockey. This really surprised them. Her reflexes were excellent when focused. They would have to buy a snack from Mick for her. Matsun and Oikawa tied up in race games. Yamaguchi won in basketball. Hinata won in most of the fighting games. Maki made the highest score in a shooting game. They spent hours in games, and they were good at a lot, so the chips piled up, and now they were discussing which prize to get. You could get more than one depending on which one they picked. But Oikawa wasn't interested in any of the prizes available, so he was looking around for a game he still wanted to play. Even he played those claw games with a bunch of stuffed animals. They weren't big, they were actually the size of a palm and were keychains. And there was an alien at the top of the mound. Easy. Iwa-chan, take it for me. Take it for me. What? There's an alien keychain there. Take it for me. Please, Iwa-chan, get it yourself. You know I hate that claw. But I'm horrible. And you're so good at it. And it's easy. If it's easy, take it yourself. Oikawa-san. Yamaguchi calls, touching his back. Oikawa look at him pounding, and teary eyes. It was fake, obviously. Where's the machine? There. He points. Yamaguchi took a few seconds to find the yellow machine with stuffed toys inside. You want the alien, right? The pink one. Okay, okay. Hinata, can you hold my bag? Yep. Good luck. Where you going, Yamaguchi-kun? In the claw machine. You want something? Yachi looked to Oikawa. House seemed jealous of the idea of Tadashi getting her a stuffed animal. So she denied it, shaking her head, thinking they were cute. No, but thank you. Yama-chan. Oikawa was going to follow him, but he wouldn't let him. Wait, here, you make me nervous. Tadashi kiss his cheek and go to the machine, without noticing what he just did. Oikawa was blushing. You're fucking in love. I'm not. In the machine, Yamaguchi looked for the alien that Oikawa wanted, and as soon as he found it, he saw that it was really easy. It only took him 2 tries to get it. With the alien in hand, he thought he was cute. He didn't know why Toru liked aliens so much, which was the opposite of him, who preferred medieval fantasy. He looked to see if there were any more he'd like, and not seeing anything nice, shrugged and went back to the group, who were sorting the chips for the prizes. Here. Wah. Thank you, Yams. You don't spend your money, right? I can pay you back. It's a gift. Oh, thanks. He didn't need Toru to pay him back, his smile was enough. Not one of those ordinary ones he always gave, but one of happiness that rose in his eyes and made them sparkle. That made him happy simply because Toru was happy. Hinata would have to rub in Yamaguchi's face that he was falling in love with Oikawa, because if it were up to him it would never happen. While Oikawa was deeply afraid of being in love with Yamaguchi, as the future was inevitable and his exchange to Argentina was already scheduled. On the bus back home, Toru fall asleep on Yamaguchi's shoulder. Sorry about him. It's not a problem. But he can be very spoiled and clingy, and Iwaizumi-san. Yamaguchi gets serious, a cold expression on his face, but talking low to not disturb Toru. You don't need to tell me these things. I know how spoiled, clingy, a brat and inconsequent he can be. Of course there's things I need to guess, because he don't want to tell me. Like how he pratic till his knee get injured again and again, and how he feels he's not enough. He told you about it. He mentioned it once, the way he hurt his knee the first time. So, how did you? I grow up with Tsukishima, you can tell just looking at him he's not a person who show emotions often and is an asshole most of the time. And my mother is a psychologist, I learn a few things with her. And he always spills something for accident. He smiled, small, comprehensive. I can see over his mask. Over the smile he gives simply because it's easier. I'm just waiting the day he will be comfortable to tell me, if he wanted to. Iwaizumi nodded, understanding and happy that his friend had someone as understanding as Yamaguchi, because that's what he needed, someone who could understand him and his passion for volleyball, his fake smiles, but not because he wanted to pretend to be someone good, but he didn't want to disturb others with his problems. Oikawa was like that. The night was really dark, so Yamaguchi makes sure that Iwaizumi was going to take him all the way home. And after it, they go different ways. Yamaguchi and Hinata left Yachi on the way to her house and parted further.